Hello and welcome to the energy update here on the Astroflower. We're going to be going into the messages from the Earth, the chakra sequencing, and so forth. But before we go into all of that, we're just going to go into the sun, seeing what's been happening on the sun and seeing what sort of effects that's having on the Earth energy, your aura, and your chakras as well.
So yes, before we go out and get a message from the ley line and the chakra sequencing, let's just see what's been going on with the sun. And it's got to be said, same old, same old. We got these corona holes that we saw last week, just coming into play. It's now going out of play, as it were. There is two other little corona holes that are coming back through. That's that Earth energy. And as I said last week, I think it's going to be prevalent all of this week. Coming up to, I think tomorrow or Friday, we might get a change of vibration into an eruption that could be in the very low X flares. I would have thought in the next 36 hours from this video being released, between 36 and 48 hours, between that sort of 24 and 48 hours, basically. X flare that sort of might sort of come out of action. I don't think it's going to be massive by looking at the sun and looking at the magnetics of the sun and also feeling the energy. I don't think it's going to be coming through. So there's no massive wave of energy that's coming through at the moment. So if someone's been telling you that, I would stop listening to them. So, you know, we can see this clearly on the sun. The old friends are here. So we've got these filament energies that are all about, and they've been major again. So this week, at the moment, as it stands, it looks like it's a prolonged engagement of water and earth energy within the system that's coming through. And we are seeing that because on the earth, there's been a lot less in the way of hurricanes. They've really died off now. As I said in last week's energy update, and as well in last week's energy update, I said I made a prediction for the earthquakes in the Filipino plate and gave a magnitude and everything like that. Gotta say, it was absolutely spot on. There was two in exactly the points that I was talking about. That was one was 6.2 and the other was 6.8, I think, out of my memory. Just to sort of say that, because we will be getting into earthquake prediction season as well when we get into the corona hole season. If you want to get involved, it's much easier to predict the earthquakes when we've got corona holes than when we've got sort of filaments or solar flares eruptions. But that's because of the earth energy, and we will be going into that a little bit of that later on. So we've seen some little bits of flaring going off, and I think this patch here, that once it comes back round, this patch here that you see coming round, that's going to be facing Earth facing in the next sort of 2 days, and I think that's when the flare is going to be coming from. We'll see over the next 2 days, and I did say that in the energy update last week as well. So yes, that's what's really been going on the sun. As regards to the energies, let's just have a quick. Let's just bring them up here. Here we go. We've got the X-ray flux, and as you can see here, there is some sort of M flares and so forth. And you saw that on the sun, just bright flashes, but nothing in the way of ejecta. There's nothing really major coming through here. And that, as I said, does speak volumes. The aura of the Earth, the KP index here, quiet as a bell. Not quiet as a bell. Quiet as a mouse. Quiet as a mouse. Nothing really going on from that. So all the energy, and this is why it's Earth energy, that's what with the corona holes, it's coming from the interior of the Earth. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the messages is from the Earth, from the centre of the Earth. Really good message this week. And also the chakra sequencing. So there is really nothing going on. There is one thing, as I said, that's connected to the Earth energies, which I would like to go into a little bit deeper dive, as it were. These are the earthquakes that's been over today. I haven't brought up the chakra maps, but basically you've got your third eye and throat chakra here. Then you've got your then we've got the global solar plexus, corona hole in Mount Kailash, heart chakra in St Michael's Mount, Salida in Bolivia, I think it's Bolivia, or Peru, down in South America. And then we got Mount Shasta up in Northern California. So that's the root and that's the sacrum. So just so you can know. But is there anything in particular that you see a little bit out of the norm on the map? I'll give you a second. That there, right down there, like that one down there, and that one up there. Okay? So on the North Pole, it's actually in Greenland's, the Greenland seas, and in the South Pole as well. But they go all the way down the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And they're quite important. You know, there's a 5.7 up the top and a 5.2 down the bottom. When we get that, for me, now there's two ways of resetting the rhythm a little bit to the Earth. We sometimes see it on what's it called? Hawaii. Sorry, Hawaii, I couldn't remember your name for a minute. So it's somewhere in Hawaii region. That's when we get the vortex of the ring of fire, and it goes ding and resets. But there is also another way of resetting, and that's to do with the North and South Pole equators, earthquakes. And that is what's happening at the moment. And that reset is actually speaking huge amounts of volumes in the way of energies coming through at the moment. And yes, so it's a sliding, gliding world. Okay, if you've ever seen Osric Tentacles, you'd know all about that. Sliding, gliding world at the moment. Absolutely, it's not an energy in transition. It's an energy that's sort of slipping and sliding out of sync, as it were. And it's almost as if like the energy is stepping up a gear. That's what I'm getting, and a feeling, and the general sort of thing as well. And we can also, and also saw that on the messages from the Earth and so forth. But this has been very, very prevalent. The other thing I'd like to talk about as well first is because there's not a great deal going on in the way of sort of the energy stuff that we can see on the surface, but is about the season of filament energies. I'll get there in a minute. Filament energies. So filament energy is all about water. I've said it many times on this channel. And I said, I think we're going to be seeing the tailing off of cycle 25 in January. In the next couple of months, I think the sun will go a lot quieter. Yeah, there will be occasional X-flare and stuff like that. And there may be another peak where we get 2 or 3 weeks of activity, serious activity, not just little M flares that doesn't do anything, but bigger sort of stuff around about sort of September, October, November, December in 2025. And that's when you may get another double peak as it's gradually going back down. And the reason I want to talk about this, because it's also sort of the season of El Niño. Now, El Niño is also, so you've got El Niño and El Niña. I don't know if any, most people, if you can speak a little bit of Spanish, it's like the little girl and a little boy, baby girl and baby boy. And there's a website that I look at that if I just go through it goes into about all the earth changes, as you can well see up here, the earth changes in SOT.net. Let's just see record-breaking rain, swamp, northern coast of Israel, 7.7 inches, just rain in 4 hours. That's 60% of the year, the total yearly rain. It's quite phenomenal. Here we have another one of a landslide after rain. It's coming down. Then we have a shark attack, and then we have a dog attack, and then we have a stranded whale. It's a really quite good website, but here we get back into the floods. So this is submerged in tidal floods for 5 days in Jakarta in Indonesia. That's quite considerable. And then we have parts of Hong Kong flood as severe tropical storm. The last of the tropical storms hits in that sort of region. And then you have this sort of, is that the same tropical storm? Let me have a look. No, it's a different tropical storm. Hits into Belize in the Mopan River, levels rise by 18 feet higher than normal. So massive flooding going on there. As a rhino decided to take issue with someone. There's also this article that sort of says Antarctica sea ice has slowly increased since 1979. Science paper finds. So, you know, I think there's a lot of complication about information regarding sort of climate and stuff like that. It's pretty complicated. I'm not going to go into it in here now. But just sort of say, then we get the heavy rainfall, flash floods. As you can well see, this is about something in the Dead Sea. And then you get water spouts, which we get a lot of them at the moment. We've got an earthquake. Then we get some more flooding. Then we get some sinkhole, which is due to the flooding as well. Then we're going to get some typhoons and another dog attack. But then we get some water spouts as well. And it just, if I just keep going down, it's just sort of like rain in North Carolina. I hope you're all safe in southwestern Virginia and northern Carolina. Hope it's all well. Apparently you had some floods going on there. Tropical storm. Sarah dumps nearly a load of rain there as well. And here we go. Some more sort of heavy rain in Portugal now. This is in Portugal. This is in Panama. This is a dust storm. This is Madagascar. Riverbank landslides. Hits boat. There's sinkholes. There's lightning strikes. But it is a lot about... there seems to be a lot of floods that's been going on across the globe. Now, I think this is all to do with El Nino, but it's also to do, which I think we're going to get a lot more of. So I think we're going to get a lot of rain over the next 18 months. A lot of flooding over the next 18 months, to be honest, because we're going through a water period in the sun, but it seems like as well we're going through a water period due to El Nino, in the earth as well. I think that's going to bring temperatures a little bit cooler over the next year than what it has been recently. So interesting times ahead. Let's just go on and get the messages from the earth and the chakra sequencing. Okay? Yes.
So it's the reboot, is it? Let's just see, we're on a ley line now, so we'll just sort of connect to that ley line now. There's a lot of anticipation. The energy feels like it's like you've got the butterflies in your stomach and anticipation for things that are going to happen. And that can be misconstrued as anxiety. And if you suffer from anxiety at the moment, I can understand. The energy is very fluid, let's put it that way. It's not really stationary, it's really sliding between one state and another at the moment. And that could all have to do with pole shift. But yes, it can produce anxiety at the moment. So make sure you do take care of yourself. Don't forget about mental exercising as well, meditation, that sort of thing. Okay, so that's what the general feel is of the energy. Let's just go in and get a chakra sequencing. Okay, we're waiting for the start of it. There it is there. Okay, so it goes to the root and only slightly to the crown. Very slight on the third eye and the throat. Now it's touching the solar plexus, and that's a lot more sort of solid, really. And the sacral, but the sacral is really diminished as well. And then back to the beginning. Wow, that's really, really short. That's the shortest sort of chakra sequencing that I think I've experienced. There's a real definition that's going in on the energy here, and that could be all about the rebooting. And it's not really kicking in. It's only the solar plexus that is taking a bit of a pounding. I don't feel it's like it's there as a force or anything like that. I get it more the sort of like, like the other chakras are sort of kind of going, not for me today, no, and let the solar plexus take it. Touching my solar plexus, terrible, better out than in, they say. Yeah, very strange. Very strange. I'm going to have to do a bit of channeling on that. On that sort of thing. I'll do another video on that. I need to be in a place where I'd like to channel on that sort of energy tonight and do a big meditation on that and see what comes out of that. I'll keep you up to date on that on another video. Let's just see what's going on for the message of the Earth. So we've got the connection to the line there. We're going to the crossing point. In the crossing point and down into the Earth. And there's the center of the Earth. The plasma ball, after being really intense over the past few weeks, has it seems to be losing its strength or losing its sort of like presence, as it were. Let's just see what the message is coming in from the Earth. Life is never stationary, it's constantly in flux. This is the moment of changing gears. What is coming up after that gear change? It's showing me, it's like a long road that runs through the hills of the desert somewhere. And it's about to attack, I'd say it was a long journey, but probably for the Earth it's actually really quite a short journey. Because it doesn't feel like the Earth is worried about it being a long journey, but it's just like sort of saying here, the changing of gear is once you start the motion, there's no going back. So that's what it seems to be, and there seems to be like a wheel of fortune, and it's like sort of saying, put your hands on the wheel of fortune and spin it in your favor. So which I will gladly do. And there's my path there, and I will take that path. Okay. This could have something to do with the sort of standing up and being counted for the last time, and that it was now time to go on the march. And it is like changing gear. It's not as if we're starting a journey. It is very much like changing gear. Be conscious of your world that is around you, directly around you. How does it feel? How the people are. Go and visit nice spots that you feel energetically, it's sort of like giving you nice vibrations and so forth. Be very conscious of your local environment. Just coming back to the body now. There we go. Okay, so we've seen that the energy's been in flux when we were looking at the sun and we were talking about it all, and it seems to be a reset. But as I said, it's not like a reset that something's starting. It's like a reset that something's changing gear. We're already rolling. But once you embark upon this stage of the journey, there is no going back. You can't just unknow what you know, if you know what I mean. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. So there you go. I don't know if you've seen the Pluto readings, and don't forget about your weekly readings that are coming out this week. Earth on Thursday, Friday, waters, Saturday, fires, and Sunday, airs. Did I say Thursday, Friday, water? Yeah, waters, yeah. Okay, so yeah, there you go. I will see you soon. Thanking you very much for all the support you give to this channel. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.